Hey there guys, this is Zune, and first off, two things, and they're kind of related. Sorry I haven't been putting any videos out for the past week, and as you can probably tell, the reason is that I have lost my tooth. So I sound a little bit strange, and that kind of put me off, but I decided I would share something today. Hopefully I'll get my tooth sorted out in the next couple of days, and I'll have the videos up and ready as frequently as they were before. But today I'm going to be talking about the tiers so far, and what the current meta is, and what you should expect in a high-level event. So, now, before anything, credit is due to the Pojo team, who have been following this the tier list for a long time and setting these tiers, and I believe that this is the best tiering system we have in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I've never seen anything as extensive that compares to it. Now, a lot of people, when they say tiers, they just think, oh, it's tier 1, oh, Dragon's a tier 1, because it beats everything. That's not what tiers are. Tiers are quite simply what a deck's representation is in a topping of official tournaments. Now, this is YCSs and regionals. Although regionals, in my opinion, don't really count for as much. At this point in the format, we've only had one YCS. Regionals are very relevant. So, the tiers are defined as such. Tier 1 is more than 15%. Tier 2 is between 5 and 15%. And Tier 3 is less than 5%. So, the common misconception is, as I said, they think a powerful deck has to be Tier 1. That's not true at all. And I've heard a lot of people say that, like, there's going to be 3 or 4 Tier 1 decks, and that's just not true. I mean, if you look at the percentages here, we have almost 2 decks at Tier 1, which is pretty, it's pretty rare. Although it was probably that way during the March 2013 format. But there's no way we get 3 or 4. That's incredibly... not with how diverse this format is currently. Okay, so jumping into it. As you can clearly see, thankfully this has been color-coded, not by myself. Firefists have a distinct, more of them. There is a lot of Firefists going around at the moment. 23% of decks that are topping are Firefists. This means that if you're in a tournament, a regional level or higher tournament, and you come into a good player who's likely to top, there's a 1 in 4 chance he was playing Firefist. Now that is massive. That is so relevant right now that when you're building your deck, you need to be prepared for Firefist. And there are some decks which inherently just lose to Firefist, and there are some decks who have a massive advantage. Now, I've got regionals coming up next month, and I've been deciding what decks to play. My main decision is between Harpies and Spellbooks. And looking at this list, with Firefist making up a quarter of my real challenging opponents, I'm thinking Spellbooks all the way, because Spellbooks have a really good matchup against Firefist. Whereas Harpies is a little bit more of a grindy game. And Firefist can maintain advantage a lot better than an inconsistent Harpy deck can. But that's just my opinion. There are some very good Harpy players. I'm sadly not the best Harpy player at the moment. And I do not think that I can consistently beat Firefist in a grind match. I think Spellbooks, however, the ability to go into World and pop all of their useless back row is brilliant. So, there's that. And I think I will be choosing Spellbooks. But we need to... what I'm trying to say to all of you is, if you have a serious tournament coming up, you need to look at this list, figure out what you're expecting to play, and side accordingly. Like, I know a couple of people who are siding triple Light Imprisoning Mirror, double Mind Drain, Soul Drain, yeah, sorry, my tooth is annoying me. Basically, they're siding a shit ton of Bujin hate. And then you look at this, and Bujin have had 7 regional tops. They make up 2.9%. That means roughly 1 in every 30 players you play against who are good enough to top are going to be playing Bujin. So your chances of running into them are not very high compared to the likes of Mermail and Firefist. So you need to be prepared to go into this deck. You need to practice. You need to know what to side against these. You need to know when to side, what to side out, your plays, what they will be siding against you. Let's face it, there are a lot of decks in the meta right now. You can see just from this, there are a lot of decks, but some of them are a lot more likely you'll go against than others, and you can't practice against all of them. You can't know the ideal choices against all of them. So concentrate on these three. You need Firefist, Mermail, Yugioh, and to an extent Spellbooks. If you cover those, you've basically made up, using some quick maths, 54% of your likely matchups will be covered if you just prepare for these 4 matchups. 54% you'll be completely covered for. Out of these 26 decks, just cover 4 of them, and over half of your likely matchups have been covered. And that is an unbelievable advantage. You guys can easily do that. Okay, well, this has been Azun, and I'm just trying to get you guys to know your meta and use whatever advantages you can in any serious tournaments. Thanks guys, Azun signing out.